Hey everyone, Drlupo here. In this video, I'll be introducing you to all of the agents in Valorant, the new tactical shooter from Riot Games. We'll be doing this by role, and first up are the Initiators. Agents in the Initiator role are intended to challenge angles that opponents are currently covering, giving the rest of the team the opportunity to take territory on the map that might be in a more strategic position, whether it's offense or defense.
One enemy remaining.
The first character we're going to be covering in this video is Breach, an Initiator. You see on the screen all of his abilities across the bottom with his ult on the far right, Aftershock, Flashpoint, Fault Line, and Rolling Thunder. This character is all about kind of blasting through walls. I'm on Bind, one of the two maps that we're able to play right now, and I'm going to show you just very quickly all four of his abilities. The first, like I said earlier, Aftershock, you put on a fusion charge, and when you fire it, it bursts through the wall and does a whole ton of damage to anybody standing behind it. And one thing to note about this character for sure, as you see in the top left, the mini-map, that little blue square is actually the area of effect where it's going to hit. So here at A, if we're defending A on Bind, we're trying to make sure that nobody's going to come this way. As an Initiator, if I know that there are people in here and you see on the map, let's say I know that they're, left side right on the wall, or maybe they're holding this corner, and I want to make sure I'm trying to zone them away from that, or maybe I have somebody stuck. Maybe you've comboed off of slow from another character. You boom, put that guy right there, and anybody inside that takes a whole bunch of damage. I have gotten frags with that in games that we've played. It's not perfect. It's tough to do sometimes. And people, if you have fast enough reactions, you can move out of it. But you do have a controller applying a control like a slow, something like that. Maybe even a smoke at the corner right here. You can use that to try and pick up a frag early in the game. Super important. Next one up is going to be his Q, and I changed my keybind. The actual F, my F right now should be C by default. Change your keybinds whatever you need to. It's Flashpoint. It's essentially the same mechanic. You can see up there the little yellow circle is where it's going to hit. That's really good. That mini map function, by the way, is really good if you're trying to learn positions, points you can shoot through, that kind of thing. You're not going to be able to cheese through giant walls like this. You see the circle kind of, there's something colliding in there, but it's not going to go all the way back to the next room over. But it will give you the ability to blind anybody in the backside of that. So if you are on this side when that goes off, that does apply to teammates too, so be careful. When that goes off, your whole screen is whited for about 2 seconds and gives anybody the opportunity to push along the this wall right here. So if I'm about to make this push, I flash it first, and boom, I can come around the corner and spray down. Next up, before we get to the ult, is E. This has a charge bar. This is his Fault Line. It's a seismic blast. You increase the distance, and you'll see in the top left again, it draws out as you use it. And when you let go, anybody that's in there, slowed, slower turn, slower movement speed, and actually slower rate of fire as well. So as you're using this, if you're about to make a push, it is fantastic at kind of establishing. I mean, that's why he is in the Initiator role for a reason. You use him to push around corners. If you're trying to push through an opponent team is built up, maybe back over here at A on Bind, there's a cubby over here on the side. This narrow hallway can be completely covered basically by one, and everyone in there is slowed. You form a push in and get everybody that might be stuck inside. But last but not least, the ultimate for Breach here, I'm going to pop it down, is a giant cone of destruction. This thing hits like a bus. It's basically a combination of everything in his repertoire. Seismic charge, fire to send a cascading quake through all terrain in a large cone, dazes and knocks up anyone caught in it. And when you put this thing down, I'm going to do this in the open so you can really see it. It is very big, it is very effective, but you very much know that it's coming. The end, though, I would say right about in here from where I shot that, probably has the hardest time getting out of it. But man, if you've got a team stuck in the side, I'm going to use it right here. You look at the coverage on that, you can cover that entire thing, the entire cubby at A on Bind, with one ult for Breach. It's pretty nuts. So there you go. That's Breach. Second Initiator in Valorant is Silva. On your screen are his abilities: Owl Drone, Shock Bolt, Recon Bolt, and Hunter's Fury. The Owl Drone you see up on right there, he's got a little arm out. Little guy flies around. He has a limited amount of time. He has a dart that he can shoot at an opponent, and if you do stick them, you do get them revealed for a short amount of time. Pop this dude off. It's pretty straightforward. Spacebar to go up, your crouch key to go down. It's got a battery life at the bottom, HP on the left, and the recharge time for the bolt on the right side. Gonna pop as soon as he's done. The Q and E both act as variations of the bow, and I'll start with the Q. The shock which I'm going to full charge into the wall. That AoE does the most damage right at the center, but it will hit people around the corner. It's an area of effect line of sight, so you do have to be line of sight of it. So if you do need to geometry it around the corner, maybe you're going to shoot at somebody just behind the box, up over the top, that will hit them just behind it. And on top of that, you can add bounces. That's not going to hit anybody. Quick note about either of the bow. In that first section on the left, underneath the word charge in the center of your screen, anywhere in there is the same distance, no matter what. So if I just barely tap, it's... So if you're trying to line up shots, if you're trying to like learn a path and a certain amount of charge, you can do that very easily with this system. Second's going to go a little bit further, guaranteed anywhere in there. And the last one, anywhere in that third, is the same up until the top. The very top is going to be the longest distance you see the bar turns red. You know how to shoot the bow every time. It's predictable, which is honestly a great mechanic. You don't have to guess. The other kind of bull here, the recon, hit that thing on the wall. Those pulses go out. Anybody in line of sight, for the 3 pulses that it puts off, you're going to see the silhouette pop up of any opponents. Perfect for checking around corners, that kind of thing. You can kind of get cheeky with some of these spots if you need to learn an exact location, put it up on like a dart up above and know that it's going to reach just the right height, that kind of thing. So those are the little locations, anything like that. And on top of that, you can even bounce these things. If I want to check around the corner, you bounce it there, and I'm going to see all the way over to the edge, all the way around. I was able to check that whole area. That means with that shot, I just checked this corner from up top, from all the way back over here because of the ricochets. Last but not least, the ult, Hunter's Fury.
My ult is ready.
3 shots, goes through, penetrates. Your mouse aim actually slows down pretty big time in there. You can't whip with it, so that makes hitting the shots directly on. Maybe you're in a tunnel like this, you could hit somebody in the middle of this tunnel very easily. But if they're down at the end and they have room to move, you're gonna be able to dodge it pretty easily. You got to be very, like spot on with the timing with this thing. But Silva is excellent at covering corners, doing a little bit of AoE damage, good for pushing. He's got a map knowledge. This is a great all-around character. Use code Drlupo. Use code